So the front's pretty nasty just because the interior's everywhere, but the inside of the back is really what's bad. Maybe I can give that to my girlfriend. Oh boy. Got some old toys, I think. Pencils, action figures, and netting. This looks like a kit car or something. You tear it off and put it together. That looks like nothing. We have a vase. Netting? Don't know what that is. A sharpener. What kind of sharpener? Oh, it's a can opener. Some of these are kind of cool from the 50s, but that's not really cool. Oh, here's that kit truck. Heavy pedal Chevy pickup. Empty organizer. Plastic. Dungeons and Dragons. You never know, there might be some money in here. You know, I was just watching a video on TikTok where somebody was rummaging around at a junkyard, and in one of the cars in the junkyard, he opened up like a shoebox, and it was full of money. It was like $1,000. Oh man, I'm filling up the trash can already. Isn't that neat? Action Company. Was that a horse? Sparks, Nevada. This rubber. Nothing left of it. Some padding. Looks like sound deadener. Ooh, what is this? Oh, this is what I was looking for when I... Look. Check it out. Chrysler. These are the hubcaps. Look. Oh, yeah, no way. It's the full set. And these are in such good shape. Look, they even have the black painting around them. Chrysler. Oh, these are so cool. I want to put one on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what this car needed. I love it. Looks 10 times better. I love how it says it right there. Chrysler. That's so freaking cool. I dig it, man. I dig it. Oh, check it out. This is a tongue saw flasher. This is probably for turn signals. And look at this. This is the marker for the front. See how there's a hole here? This went right here. Is there a little pinhole? Yep. Boom. There's your marker. There's supposed to be a light, I think, here. Either like a reflector or a light, I'm not sure. Maybe if we keep digging, we'll find the other one. Oh, yeah. See, it was a marker. The other one doesn't have the guts in it, but here's your wire, and here's your marker. It's orange. There's a little light in there. Oh man, the other one's missing its light housing in the reflector. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yo, yes. Look, there it is. Check it out. Let's see this. This goes up in there like that, and there's your marker light. Sweet. Why'd they take them off? Why would you take them off? I can't believe it. I'm glad I have them. All right. Passenger side. They must have been like big campers. You put all your stuff in it. I mean, look at that. There ain't nothing left. What's in here? Craftsman. Permanex case? What does that mean? Oh, I should probably set this down maybe. Ooh, a skill saw. That's awesome. Box is kind of trashed, but the saw is in there and in good shape. Sears. Look, Sears on American Relic. Kind of a soldering gun. Is this an air pump? Maybe. Oh, here's a little mini oiler. some lights and gizmos and gadgets. Resistors, capacitors, tubes. It's like small electronic stuff, like for circuit boards is what that looks like. The back seat is kind of just hanging out in here. Is this a bowling? This looks like a bowling ball holder. Let's see what kind of nice bowling ball we have in here. So the zipper broke, but look at this. Look at this, this is nice. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Look at that clipper. Made in USA. Jerry. Whoever owned this car, maybe his name was Jerry. It's got like the bowling ball holder in there and the shoes. Wow. Oh my gosh. That is really cool. Your clipper Jerry ball. Oh my god. Look at bowling pins. What is this? Don't tell me this is a receipt. This is the receipt for the sale of the ball. Look, his name was Jerome Broyles, middle initial M. That's why his name's Jerry. Jerome, Jerry. 30th of July, 1965. Ace clipper, color black. Serial number, 15-pound, 3-ounce ball. 15-pound ball, it's pretty heavy. This is like the whole configuration. He was in the military. Price of ball $13.60. Amount received $15.85. That was probably for the bag and shoes and the little carrying, the little stand.
He bought it when I was just born.
So 30th of July '65. You were born 30 days later.
I was born on August 25th, '65. Oh, San Francisco.
I am keeping all of this. That is awesome. And I found this in the bag too. This is what you put the ball in. I don't know if this is what cleans it or what, but I've seen where people, they kind of...
No, that goes on your head.
No, where they kind of do this with the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know if that cleans it or what. Gets it ready for...
Get ready to put on your head.
I gotta say, Jerome's shoes are a little bit snug. Took the back sheet out. It was loose anyway. They just kind of clip in. This is what's cool. This is the build sheet for the car right here in the back of the seat. I really can't read it right now. I don't know how to get them out of there to really get a good look at it. I feel like if you start messing around with that, it's just going to disintegrate. So I'll have to wait and kind of dig around and see what that says. While I'm cleaning this, don't forget to subscribe right now. Like and drop a comment, just for the YouTube algorithm. Say whatever you want. I don't care. And sometimes you guys are really thoughtful and or really funny. And if I like it enough, I'll pin it at the top. So it'll always be the first comment. In the last video about this 69 Chrysler, I asked you guys what kind of tires I should put on it because I had 2 white letter and 2 white wall tires. You could get a look with both. I read all the comments. Some said white wall, some said white letter. And honestly, it was a pretty tough choice, but I went with what I felt was commented more. Now, obviously, I'm not ready for tires yet. Right now, I'm cleaning out the filth inside of this car, but stick around to the end to see this car with the tires you guys pretty much chose. And like a quick update on the 46 International, we're in the process of obtaining a title, and we still need a driver's side door. So if anybody has a 46 International driver's side door, hopefully with all the guts inside of it, please email me. It's in the description of this video. Still 40 years worth of dirt. So we saw this on the sun visor. We're not sure what it is, but
Beaudry Chrysler Plymouth in Tucson, August 27th of 1973. Assessed value $650. Boy, just disintegrating. Too much sitting out in the Arizona sun. Oh, Valley National Bank.
That's a bank in Tucson.
Oh,
You know that big, tall, brown building?
yeah.
And that used to be Valley National Bank. Now it's Chase.
He bought it for $1,987.60 and 827 of 73.
Look at that. Beaudry Chrysler. Yeah, it was sold in It's been in Tucson all of its life. Huh?
Wait a minute, there's one more.
There's another piece of paper?
Yeah, there's one more. Look at that. It's the registration. Yep, Pima County. Costs the same to license your car now as it did then. It costs $20 a year.
That's what it costs now.
That's what it costs now. $20.71, and right now I can still register my truck for $20 a year.
Floor's kind of vacuumed up. It's pretty stained up though. The seat is toasted, dash is toasted, but I just wanted to get all that loose stuff out of there, and the back seat was terrible. It was just piled up to the rafters with stuff. So got all that out, got the seat put back in it, got it all vacuumed out. I don't know if that's mold or battery acid or what's going on there, but that ain't coming out. Carpet was nice and blue. Seats used to be nice, you can tell. Sucks that they're not really repairable anymore, but we'll just have to make do with what we got. So, and this is cool. This is the original jack paper. Shows you how to use the jack. That went right there. It's cool to have that. I love original paperwork. I want to keep this. For as much change as people used to carry around, I never find silver coins. So I went ahead and took the vacuum and vacuumed out the back. There was a lot of debris in there. There was a lot of foliage and needles all along the lining of the trunk lid. Vacuumed all that out. So I want to jack this car up, check the brakes out, see what needs to be done there. A lot of stuff needs attention, but I just kind of eeny, meeny, miny, mowed it and said, let's just hit the brakes because we have no brakes. Starting the disassembly, taking the cap off, and then the cotter pin, and then there's like a lock nut washer on there, and then the nut comes off, and then you can pull the hub off. Look at that. These brakes are dirty, but they're beautiful. There's the metal lining, and then here is the brake lining. There is a lot of lining left on both the shoes. And as far as the wheel cylinders go, look at that. That's perfectly pliable. That's not dry at all. Time to jump over to the passenger side and just start busting it apart and see what we're working with. Look at that grease. Look at it. It's just like elasticating with the nut. It's old grease. I don't know what happened to this side, but like you see that even layer of rust on the brake drum. I don't know how that happened. Again, the shoes look meaty. This was off. This is your automatic adjuster cable. This goes around here. Hook's somewhere up here. I can't remember where. Gotta look at the other side. Now that we got a reading on the fronts, we gotta jump back to the rears and see what's up there. These ones looking pretty good. Driver rear. They got a lot of life left in them. And on the passenger rear, looking good. All the shoes look pretty meaty. Wheel cylinder looks good. The brake drums aren't really scored up. There's not a lot of ridges in them. So we got some water leaks underneath the car. Got our pressure gauge hooked up here. Pump some pressure to it, and look at that. The radiator is cracked here and there on the tank. Yeah.
You know?
Right here too. Yeah, this radiator is toasted. Man, that is ferociously bad. I can't tell if it's around the water pump housing. Look at that.
See at that housing.
I can see it up there. It's way up in there from what I can tell. I don't know if it's the thermostat housing or the water pump housing. The water pump bolts onto a housing, and I'm not sure if it's that. So I have to take the front apart just to see. If it is the water pump housing, that means I have to take all the accessories off, which I don't want to do. Watch. See when I pull the rag off? See that running water? And then when I wipe it dry, see how it starts running again? See how it fills with water again? I think it's either this hose or this housing. So after taking the thermostat housing off, you can see that this is really rotted. Here, let me show you. Pitting makes it really hard for that radiator hose to seal, but on the back of it has a hole in it. So this was our leak. This was never going to work. So got to order a new thermostat housing and a new gasket. Yeah, so needless to say, I'm extremely glad it wasn't that water pump housing, because that means that's very much more in depth than a thermostat housing. So now I'm taking the radiator out because it's got way too many cracks in the tank to really be soldered up. Next thing I want to address is the fuel pump and the fuel hoses. So I want to take all this off so I'm ready for when all the new stuff comes. I tried to kind of angle my camera so you could see me actually taking the fuel pump off, but my tripod doesn't go that short. I actually ordered a short one so I could show you guys underneath cars, but yeah. There's your fuel pump. I think this one was actually working a little bit, but the reliability of it over the long term, these things can go out at any time. Crack this open while we're taking other stuff apart and let it drain out. Slap a new filter in it. Let's see. I don't see any water. That's good. It's a good sign. Keep chugging along while that does its thing. But these are handy for getting your springs off and such. It gets in there behind them. This eyelet right here is for automatic adjusters. This right here clicks to automatically push your brakes out. There you go, buddy. That's all I wanted. Gonna lay these. The line on the back is a 3/8 that goes into it. And there's 2 1/2-inch bolts, one on either side. Alright, there's your wheel cylinder. Now that all the oil's drained out of that pan, go ahead and put the drain plug back in. I'll pull the pan forward a little bit and take the oil filter out. It's right here. Snug, they don't need to be real tight. Oh, respect to the last guy for not torquing it with an 8-foot breaker bar. Oh yeah. Ah, nothing in it. Piston's froze in there, huh?
Yeah. That's what exactly.
So you mean to tell me it wouldn't have worked?
No. You'd have been in there pumping, and there wouldn't have been nothing going on out here.
Guess it does need new wheel cylinders.
Yeah, it does. Look at that.
Yeah, they're froze up. I said all along how they wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So we'll fill her up with oil, and then I'm going to take the master cylinder off. And although I ordered a carburetor kit, I'm not going to take the carburetor off because it seems to be working great. I'll have the kit for in case I need it.
Oh.
I could have bought a new master cylinder, but I didn't. I bought a rebuild kit because I'm under the impression, at least, that this is the original master cylinder, and I think it's cool. I think it looks cool. And I could have bought a new one, but I don't think they look cool. I think they look cheesy. I mean, it looks too new. It's all silver and all that. You know, this looks right. So instead of buying a new one, I'm rebuilding this one. That's just how I like things. There you go. Hi, Boo. Fast forward a few days later, we got our parts. If anyone from Rock Auto is listening, sponsor me. I really like your website. The radiator came from Evil Bay. $160 after tax and shipping and everything. They got the price of these radiators down pretty sweet, really. So let's crack these open. We got a lot to get into today. We got our air filter, we got all 4 of our wheel cylinders, we got our brake hose, we got our fuel pump, we got some gaskets that I don't need, that I thought I would need. I bought them, didn't need them. We got our radiator cap and our radiator that came with a radiator cap, so we're way over budget. Too much. Ooh, what's this? Oh, fresh. Some of the brake hoses didn't come. My radiator hoses aren't here yet. I thought I had everything, but we got more than enough to get today cracking. Ooh. It got cold. Just a little bit. And you have to be careful because this is under spring pressure and this will come out. Like your whole wheel cylinder will come apart. See? Pulls through, locks in. This is the old one. I keep all of this stuff because whenever you buy new parts like brake hose, master cylinder, all that, they don't always come with the bolts. So I save the bolts so I can reuse the bolts, and I save the hoses because they don't always come with these clips. You got to have these clips. You might have to reuse these clips. And then also this copper washer right here, they don't always come with these, and even when they do, sometimes they don't even seal right. I have had brand new ones that don't seal, and I will put the old one on, and sure enough, that copper washer seals. So good enough. Okay. Ooh. Gosh. Whew. Give me a minute. I'll get her done.
For some brakes. And I swear I kept
Oop. Nope. Yes. All good. After I do the rest of them, I'll hit all these with some brake clean them up, and then we can get started putting the drums on and whatnot. Come here and help me get these bolts in, dude. Never mind. See, on this side, the eyelet for the adjuster was broke, and you gotta buy an entire hardware kit just to get that one stupid piece, so I'm gonna just go ahead and take these automatic adjusters out. All these pieces, they'll just end up falling down in the brake shoe and mess my whole day up, probably while I'm in the middle of New Mexico with nothing near me for 100 miles. Yeah, and we're out. Bearings and all that, been soaking in gasoline. Now we'll repack them. Look at that, nice. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Extremely dry.
So we got our grease out. Put it in the palm of your hand, and then you kind of scoop it. Then you'll start seeing the grease come out here, kind of like little fingers or whatever, and that's how you know you've kind of got it. Just like that. I'll show you what I mean. Have it like this. Have the grease cupped in your hand. Just kind of nip at it. See that? How it's coming out? Boop. There you go. It's packed. You do that all the way around. Got your grease.
Move to the next portion. Move to the next portion.
Minute. Drop that down in there. We have our seal. Alright, I can hear it bottomed out. Hear it tings different. Don't want to overdo it. Alright. Bearing in. Put your washer in. Like that. Put your nut on. Hear that slack? That you want to go until you can't hear that anymore. Like that. There's no more slack. How it stops. You don't want any slack in there. About. That's good. That scraping is the brakes dragging the drum, which is fine. Your lock, usually whatever brakes you're doing, it's going to have a lock washer type thing. Then your cotter pin goes through that. All right, fold it up. And there you go. Woo! Fits perfect. I love it. See how these won't go all the way through? how they just, holes need to be wallered out. There. Much better. See? Easy as pie. It got dark last night, so I just had to finish up what I was doing. So here's what I got done. Little side note, my dad went to a car part swap meet in Glendale this weekend, and check out what he got. This is a 60s Cushman, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what year?
63.
63 Cushman.
Silver Eagle Cushman.
Silver Eagle. Check this thing out. Look at that. Dude, this thing is stylish. The guy put a new motor on it. He got the original motor with it. This is what came on it. Your old school glass bowl fuel filter. This has electric start too, which is pretty sweet. Electronic ignition 7.0. I'm guessing that means 7 horsepower. That's so sweet. We let it warm up a bit. Yeah. The guy my dad bought it from said it's got a 2-speed gearbox, and if you put that sucker in second gear, he said it'll do 50 mile an hour. That thing will get with the program. Radiator's bolted in, the lower radiator hose is on, upper hose is just kind of sitting here until I get the thermostat housing. Hook up the tranny lines, they fit pretty much perfectly. As you can see, we got our lower radiator hose. It's kind of like hitting our oil filter. I'm not sure if that's like a big deal or not. Got the new fuel pump on there, got new fuel hose ran all the way from the carburetor all the way back to the tank. So I got it looped up here, and I'm going to put a fuel filter pre-pump up there so I can see what's going on when I start pulling from the tank. So I got another delivery of goodies from Rock Auto. We got our, let's see, what is this? This is the master cylinder repair kit, which we'll put in today. This is the carburetor repair kit, which I'll use if I need it. We got our front brake hoses, which we definitely need today. I got 4 5/16 fuel filters because, you know, you always need them. You always need maybe 2 or 3 when you're doing these cars. You always have a use for them. And then this is my thermostat, I think. Thermostat's right here. And then here is my water pump gasket that I thought I needed, but I don't. But we'll save it if we do need it. So I went to open the box for the brake hoses, and the brake hoses are in there, but no copper washers. This is what I was saying earlier. They're not in the box. They're not on the pieces. We are going to have to reuse the copper washers off of the old wheel cylinder. Just give these a little clean on the wire wheel and freshen them up a bit. Like brand new. Last hose is the rear one. Let's hope it. Oopsies. Sorry. And then I get some channel locks to get that. What is this? A breather tube cap? What is that? Alright. This one doesn't have a copper washer because it seals right here at this flare. See how the threads don't go all the way in? You can't mash a copper washer in there. Don't want to go too tight. There we go. Good as new. Crack this baby open. Oopsies. Ugh. What is that, a gasket? Oh no, it's the, oh, boy, that's rough. Come on, please don't rip on me. Alright. Oh, yes. Okay, this is gonna try and come out. Look at that. See, that's what happens. Oop. After so many years, this stuff starts to solidify, and it's just not good. I mean, it might have worked in a pinch, you know, but you don't want that stuff just chilling in there. This came out of the master cylinder, and then if you see the kit, this is this, but this is still in there, and I'm not really sure how to get that out. Oh.
Squirting the brake fluid all over the place.
There we go. Pretty much caved its way into the top of it so I could grab it, pull it out. Yeah. Trying to get you guys to see it. After cleaning it, see those black marks in there? Those are rust pits. There's quite a bit of scoring in there, but it's the best we can do with the hone. We'll just put a dabble of brake fluid on these seals. See how this is concave out like that? You want to be careful pushing this in because if you lip that seal over, brake fluid will get past. You want the whole thing to be pointing that way because when brake fluid pushes against it, it expands out against the cylinder. Just to kind of make sure that this all goes in. Alright, and the last piece to the puzzle is our hold down. Alright. Back on she goes. Hopefully that pitting isn't bad enough to where it leaks. Usually, even if you can see some, they always pretty much seal. And I've never had one not. Today could always be the day, you know.
Seeing bubbles?
Yeah, they're bubbling. Yeah, it's bubbling. So we had to put these bleeder hoses on there because doing it with my fingers wasn't working, and we had to pump it for a hot minute, so I had to shut the camera off because I wasn't for sure if I was going to have to take this master cylinder off. It wasn't pumping up, but they're pumped up, they're bled now. There's no more air in the system, so we can go ahead and take these off and see how the fluid just came out. Oh, yeah, see all that fluid that came out of there? Now they're bled. Yeah, there's fluid coming out. Yeah.
Check that brake fluid.
Alright, other side. Oh, that's a lot of air, yeah. You want all that. You want it to just be a continuous stream. No air.
Alright.
That's pretty good. See that?
Alright.
There we go. Yeah, that's a good stream right there. Come on. Stop it. These compressors are heavy. Okay. Put some of this silicone on there. Set our gasket on there. Oh my gosh. I didn't put the thermostat in it. Don't want to over tighten it. This is one heavy, overbuilt compressor, I'll tell you that right now. Paint filter, filters in microns in the funnel. Go ahead and pour this in and, see if there's any leaks while I'm doing other stuff. Just to let you guys know, all the tools that we use in these videos, Dad and me, like this blue funnel, the engine oil, the jack stands, all that stuff, if you look in the description of the video, there's links to all that stuff on Amazon. If you're looking for tools for your own personal projects, or if you just wonder what we use, all the essentials, like we use this DeWalt traveling tool kit. It's like a 180 piece kit that we use every single time we go pick up a car or whatever. All that's in the description of the video. There's just like certain tools we use every single time we get a car. See that crud? Time for belts. You gotta weave them around the fan a little bit. Second one, I always weave it around the crank first because it's, you know, below sea level. It's the hardest one to get to. Okay. All the belts are tight. I'm going to put this fuel filter in pre-pump, and I'll put some gas in the tank, and I guess we'll just give her a whirl and see if this filter gets full of crud. But the gas tank seemed very empty. If I had my tires, I could drive it tonight. I think they're going to be happy with the tire choice.
Yeah. When they coming in, or ETA?
Coming in this week. They were supposed to come in today. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. There we go. Fuel filter looks pretty good. I can feel it pulsing. Antifreeze coming out of here or something? Maybe this isn't tight enough. I gotta tighten down the distributor. I gotta see why that's leaking. Maybe tighten it up. That hose is kind of dry rotted. It's a little hard. It might not be pliable enough to go over the threads. I also want to run it long enough to see that thermostat open and start cycling that water.
Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. There it is. There it is. That's one. Got that one. Ah, there's another. You put that up there to that other one. You ain't got it mixed up, do you? There's two of them.
So we took that spark plug out and cranked on it, and it's sparking, so not too sure what's going on there. I also want to see if it's charging because I'm not too sure, and something's going on because you see the voltage is 12.4, and then when I rev it up high it only goes to 12.5. It should be like 13.8 or something like that, so something's going on with the charging system. And you can see at night that leak is a lot worse, and tranny fluid is leaking from the power steering box. So this is the voltage regulator on this car. It's not charging right, like I said earlier, so I took the voltage regulator off, and I thought it might be like some dirty contacts or something in there, because these have contacts inside that you can clean. So if you take this cap off, see these contacts right here? I cleaned them off and it still wouldn't charge. But if you look, you see that wire right there, this silver one, and you see on this side how it's burnt off. See that little like bulb right there? This is supposed to be connected. So I got a new one from Merle's. They're the only one in town that kind of had one. Not only does it look just like the other one, I think it's kind of cool. It's got the warning on it. Warning, do not short. And also, look at that. I love seeing that. That's my favorite thing to see. And also, since I'm planning on taking this on like a 500-mile trip and it's kind of getting cold, I got some heater hoses that I'm going to hook up to the heater core, and the ends are down there. Especially if I have Emily with me, she's going to want a heater. Well, we're not going to have a heater. That ain't going to work. I also took the cap off because, you know, it's got that misfire, and I've been looking on the bottom of this. It's hard to see in there, but those copper pieces in there, you see that black dirt on them? I'm going to sand those off and see if that helps me. As we were running it, a freeze plug gave out, squirted antifreeze all over the place, all over the ground. We ended up having a leak at the vacuum booster was having a leak, and then we were adjusting the carburetor and the freeze plug gave out. I see it leaking out. I'm trying to find out up here where it's, oh, there it is. The hardest possible one to get to humanly possible is leaking. This is pretty common with getting vehicles that have been sitting for longer than 25 years. You know, the freeze plugs will look perfect from the outside, but they're rusting on the other side, and they're paper thin, and they'll give out at any moment. And all it took was the pressure of the car getting warm, you know, which is maybe 15 pounds, to bust that freeze plug.
See, guys. Bolts that hold back on.
There it is. It doesn't even look that bad. I can get to this one from the wheel well. It's not leaking, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's gonna start leaking.
Well, as soon as you put that manifold back on there, it'll pop!
Almost out. So I got both of them pounded back in, putting the exhaust manifold on now. You can see those two little shiny things right there below the valve cover. That's them. But the next thing this car's going to get is its shoes, the tires and rims, really the key to the look of a car. And like I said at the beginning, I chose what you guys commented the most. So I bought these puppies brand new. Cooper Cobra Radial GTs, 235/70/15s. The internet said that these only had a couple percent difference from the factory size, so these ought to work great. There we go. Oh my gosh. Come on. Come on. That tire won't come off. So dry rotted. Won't come off the bead. Alright. Finally. Bingo. Come on. Oh, bingo. There we go. Come on. I'm going to wire wheel these rims up, especially around the bead where the tire seats, because sometimes It gets rusty. Sometimes there's dirt that gets in there, and when you go to put the tire on, it won't seal. It'll leak around the bead, and it's a pain. You got to take the tire back off. So I want them as clean as possible. A few spots kind of look questionable, but we'll just kind of run with it. We cannot get this tire off of this bead. It's being mean. So Dad tried to cut it down around the bead so that it would kind of like release, so that it would come apart, and it's not wanting to do that. All that steel belting inside there is really tight. So I think we're gonna have to get a little more drastic with this tire. Since the tire machine wouldn't debead it, I figured using the tractor, we had nothing to lose even if it bent the rim, because it wasn't coming off there anyway. So I'm going to put the tire on the rim, and we're just going to run with it. And I painted the outer ring of these red because it's going to give that tire a little bit of flair when you put the hubcaps on it. It'll make it pop a little bit, so just hold on for a sec. So while I'm switching the tires out on the rims, Dad is balancing them. They're getting all new valve stems. And then after I get all the tires on the rims, I spray the outside of the bead with soapy water, because that's really the best way to check for leaks around the bead. When you're dealing with old rims that possibly have rust pitting, that's your biggest concern. Rolling these bad boys out here for the first time, so freaking sweet. I mean, usually I'm the kind of guy to rock junkyard tires or something like that, but when you're trying to go for a certain look, sometimes you just gotta do it, you know what I mean? And historically, I'm like a white wall kind of guy. White walls on everything. A white walls on my Cadillac. I mean, just everything. But I think this car, the era that it's from and the time period, I think it deserves a set of cool looking white letter tires. My dad thought so, and you guys thought so. Yeah. Oh, yes. Dude, cool. See, painting that red was not a bad idea. Gives it just a little pop. And when I wash these, oh yeah, baby. Beautiful. Look at her now, looking righteous. I don't see anything. Oh, I felt second gear. Speedometer's working. Let's see if we get third. Yeah, I felt it. All right. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky. I got you guys on my phone hooked to the sun visor, so. Gotta love old school cars. Got the gas tank neck right in the license plate. We'll put like, I don't know, a good 10 gallons in it maybe. All right, baby, let's go. Oh yeah. Look at her out on the open road. Looks so good. Let's see. I keep getting some smoke over here. I'm not sure if that's just burning off excess or if we have some kind of leak out of the valve cover. Listen to it though. It's not vibrating anymore. Engine is just standing completely still. That's so much better. I'm loving that. Still not really seeing any fluid. I still think I see a little bit of power steering fluid, but maybe if we use it more, you know, the seals might loosen up and stop. Let's see what is down here. We got a muffler dragging. Yeah, we're low. We could use some. I mean, we've put probably 4 or 5 quarts in so far, and it still wants more, and I don't see any leaking on the ground, so I don't know where it all went. Let's give her some more. Alright, that's probably a quart and a half. Now we're looking full. That power steering needs attention again. Man, what is all this wet drops? What is spewing everywhere? I don't know. It's full. Oh, I see. Tranny cooler is leaking. Right at the bottom of that radiator, that tranny cooler is leaking a little bit, and it's getting in the fan, and it's spewing it all over the car. They're both leaking. I put some thread tape around them and I don't see them dripping anymore. So that's fixed. Now the only leak what I have left is the power steering. I'm gonna just try and put some stop leak in it and see if that works. You know, work it back and forth, drive it a little bit. It might stop. Sometimes this stuff comes back around, you know. It's been sitting overnight. Pop the hood to check for leaks. And I see one spot on the ground right here, if you can see that. Right there. We got a cold water leak. And it kind of looks like it's coming from the radiator hose area, but other than that I don't really see anything. The ground looks pretty good. I didn't want to set it on the concrete overnight because I just don't like stuff dripping on the concrete. Give it a few pumps. Hot light's starting to work, I guess. Come on. Oop. There you go. I went and tightened the lower radiator hose where it goes into the block on the front of the engine. That seemed to stop our leak. Let's see. It doesn't look too bad. So we got the transfer pump plugged into the rear end and getting a little bit of fluid. Yeah, I'll have to get all that out. Here's our old stuff. It's pretty dark. I mean, it's 50 years old. Needs to be done anyway. See what the level's at. It's gonna need that second quart. See it starting to eke out. Yeah. It took the full 2 quarts, so I feel more comfortable about that. Look at that beautiful Arizona sunset. Isn't that sweet? Going over to Emily's right now. I'm going to show her the car for the first time. See if she wants to take a 500-mile road trip in it. She might be here already. Ooh, speed bumps. Gosh, muffler's dragging, I can hear it. Oh, there she is. What do you think? Ain't she a beaut? Not bad, huh?
Cool, yeah.
You think it looks cool?
I think so. I think it looks great.
You want to take a 500-mile road trip in it, or what?
Yeah.
What about 1,000 miles?
1,000?
You think it'll make it?
About that. I don't know about that one. It's a little dumpy.
No. This is the height of luxury.
Ooh,
Nice and big.
it is very big.
Oh, the glove box light's working. Check that out. You see that? Light coming through there?
Where?
That light coming through there, the glove box light's working. Can you reach the pedals?
Barely.
Look at you. A red leather jacket. You are made for this.
What year is this?
This is a 69.
69?
Yeah, 69.
Where'd you find this again? Like just the right amount of dumpy.
Just the right. It's called patina. Can't say dumpy.
I think it looks cool. It looks like the mountain range.
It kind of does. Someone commented that too in my last video, that it looks like waves.
Yeah.
The next video, I think we're going to do a road trip in it. We're going to do at least 500 miles, and hopefully it makes it. I haven't worked all the kinks out of it, but we're just going to give it a go anyway. So
Wow, road trip.
yeah, road trip. It's going to be fun. Make sure to subscribe. Right?
Right.
That's right.